So, you heard about Bungie's latest patch, which gave pulse rifles a near 10% buff in damage, and now you want to see how well they perform, but you haven't used pulse rifles all that much. Well, don't worry about it, because you know I'm here to drop that occult knowledge on how to effectively use pulse rifles in the Crucible, so let's get into it. Let me start by saying that you should not be using a pulse rifle like an auto rifle, and even if it has that full auto perk, it'll still be difficult to outgun an opposing auto rifle. And that's because real auto rifles, hand cannons, fusion rifles, and shotguns are gonna wreck that pretty little face of yours. So do yourself a favor and mind your range. Use the pulse rifle at a distance, and when someone tries to kill you with an auto rifle at range, you can wreck their ugly ass face, and I know their face is gonna be ugly because of all the bullets you'll be shooting at it. Yes, just like every other gun in the game, you should be aiming for headshots when you use a pulse rifle. But when you first line up your rifle to shoot a guy, don't aim at his face. Aim below it, maybe at his chest, though the actual spot will depend on how much stability your pulse rifle has. So the general idea here is to let the first bullet hit the chest and then the second two bullets hit the head. And I'm saying this because if you aim at the head at a distance, you'll probably end up getting one precision shot and then you'll miss the next two shots in the burst. And once you start missing shots with your pulse rifle, you're gonna start sending your TTK through the roof, and you don't want that. One precision shot from a pulse rifle isn't very much damage without the other two to go along with it, and you're not gonna be able to kill people quick enough to be successful. So do yourself a favor and make sure you land the entire burst every time you shoot a pulse rifle. It's better to hit one or two body shots and then one or two headshots than just one headshot and maybe one body shot. The amount of bursts you'll need will depend on how much impact your pulse rifle has, but for a pulse rifle like the Three Little Words, you'll need about 3 bursts to kill. And with pulse rifles like the Bad Juju and Time on Target, you'll need 4 or 5. In PvP, my favorite class to run a pulse rifle on is the Sunsinger, and that's because the grenades are a great way to decrease your time to kill by priming your target. After taking damage from your grenade, enemies will die in just a couple of bursts. And if you find yourself in a 2v1 situation, a grenade is a great way to pick up a double. If you don't have a Sunsinger, slap on whatever grenade gear you have because it's really gonna help. Exotic pieces like the Armamentarium and Lucky Raspberry are great exotics to use in order to toss more grenades while using a pulse rifle. Now when you're using a pulse rifle, don't expect to go around killing everyone left and right. You'll have to take your time with the pulse rifle because accuracy is everything here. Like I said, you've gotta land every shot from your bursts or else your TTK is gonna be way too high. Pulse rifles are more like support weapons than Slayer weapons, and while true after the buff, these things can play the Slayer role well, but in my experience they just fit that support role so much better. In Control, it's much better to stay back a little and protect your teammates from a distance and offer supporting fire while they cap a flag. As a result, you can expect to knock out that assist bounty fairly quickly. But that's not to say you won't be getting kills yourself, because you'll probably steal a few kills too, and you can pick up the kills your teammates have missed. And I know after saying that, it makes it sound like you can't win 1v1 situations. You totally can, but you just have to make sure that you always have the advantage, because scout rifles and some auto rifles like the Vanquisher can still outgun you. Now what if someone tries to get close to you? Well, don't try and hip fire. Switch to either your shotgun or your fusion rifle and handle them quickly. And because of this, having a pulse rifle with a third eye perk, which lets you see the radar while aiming down sights, can be very valuable. And if you want to buy a pulse rifle with this perk, you can go to the Crucible Quartermaster and buy the Three Little Words pulse rifle. And since we're on the topic of pulse rifle perks, I should mention that stability bonuses are always welcome on pulse rifles, as well as reload perks. So Flared Magwell and Feeding Frenzy are great to have. Oh, and if you happen to have some spare gauntlets, either some legendary or some rares, check it to see if it grants bonus reload speed to pulse rifles. Gauntlets like this can be really helpful since levels don't matter in the Crucible and you don't lose anything by equipping a blue or an unleveled purple. And with these tips, you should be able to wreck a few faces in the Crucible and make use of all those pulse rifles that you've been saving for this patch. So if this video helps you out, don't forget to smash that like button and share it with your friends so that they too can wreck some faces with their pulse rifles. And if you're not feeling too shy, drop a comment below, let me know what your favorite pulse rifle is. And of course, subscribe and follow me on Twitter for more Destiny videos in the future. That's it for me, Overman out.